behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. Be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith Yahweh. Then Yahweh put forth his hand and touched my mouth. And the Lord said unto me, behold, I have put my words in thy mouth. And that's why it's so easy to remember certain scriptures, certain precepts, all that different stuff. Man, you just know, you see a certain topic. Like, as soon as I woke up and I seen this little video right here, I already knew what I wanted to talk about. I'm like, I'm going to go straight to book of Revelation, straight to Jeremiah. Let me see this other precept. Give me 1 minute to find this. Here we go, the book of Acts. This is the book of Acts, chapter 5. Let's see, I'm gonna start at verse 38, because this got some meat on this, right? And I wasn't even trying to make this video that long, but all these different precepts just keep coming to my mind, coming out. Let's see. So I want to jump at verse 38. I almost started verse 35, and it said to them, ye men of Israel, take heed to yourselves what you intend to do as touching these men. For before these days rose up Theodas, boasting himself to be somebody, to whom a number of men, about 400, joined themselves, who were slain, and all, as many as obeyed him, were scattered and brought to naught. After this man rose up Judas of Galilee in the days of the taxing, and drew away much people after him. He also perished, and all, even as many as obeyed him, were dispersed. And now I say to you, refrain from these men, and let them alone. For this counsel of this work be of men, it will come to naught. So, this counsel that they held, once again, we run it back.
21 institutions that were founded in this country's schools, Harvard, Yale, William and Mary, were founded to train pastors to go out and evangelize the rest of the country. We've fallen tremendously away from that.
Yeah, one of the...
Yeah, because the Most High went with that shit. Now, you got men all over the planet waking up, knowing their nationality, speaking in the Abba, the Hebrew tongue, the Lashawan Kudash. Hey, Esau ain't teach us this shit. Let me let this play some of that.
The ratifiers of the Constitution pointed out that this country was not founded by religionists, but by Christians.
Correct.
And, you know, there are...
Which is false. This country actually was stolen. It wasn't founded on nothing. It was stolen and reestablished by Freemasons. And you can look this up. I'm not going to go into that whole history about Freemasonry and all of that. If you know, you know. If you don't, do your homework.
Are historians who will give us a revisionist version, and they'll try to edit that up. And this is the truth. But we're not claiming that all of America is Christian, but we clearly have a Judeo-Christian foundation that we have strayed from. And it seems to me we know judgment is inevitable. Every nation is a shelf life.
Yep, just like this one. We'll be talking about the next 10, 20 years, plans and all that shit, man. And hopefully, way before then, we'd be living in the kingdom. We ain't got to deal with all this other nonsense we got to deal with up on the east side.
No matter who. I mean, you go to the great nations of the world, from Babylon to Greece to Rome, etc. They had a beginning, middle, and an end. And that's going to be true of our country as well as any other country. But what we're praying for is before that time comes, that we can have perhaps another great spiritual awakening.
Yeah,
Yeah, and the elect gonna be spiritually awakened. Everybody else, they gonna keep doing the same little nonsense, playing around, being awake but literally being asleep until the judgment take place. Now, let me go to this other video real quick. Wait 1 minute. Look at what we have here. So they keep bringing this up, man. Every time certain events take place, they just keep bringing this up.
China took the sky outside of their own border with multiple heavy-duty aircraft, including 19 nuke bombers.
Why they got that? It's only one reason why they got that. So back in the book of Revelation, chapter 18, and verse 10, it says, stand afar off for the field of torment, saying, alas, alas, that great city, Babylon, that mighty city, for 1 hour is thy judgment come. There's only one thing that can make something get jacked up like that in 1 hour.
We're going to tell you where and why, and if fear regarding a future war is actually justified. And long live the resistance and death.
Come on, let's get to the main part. I don't want to hear all that. Let's get to that. I want to hear all the other little folly that they got in there. This is important information, right?
30 fighter jets, an anti-submarine aircraft, and 4 H-6 bombers, which can carry nuclear weapons, entered into Taiwanese airspace in China's latest military.
What you got? Esau doing his old handy-dandy tactics once again, giving weaponry to somebody else just so they can go focus somebody else. Basically, that's what they did with Taiwan. Same old shit. Different people.
Version. Now, tension is already high since earlier this year.
No, you're a conspiracy theorist. They ain't what they do. They ain't Esau. Believe that shit if you want.
About to invade Taiwan, and even presented a 3-stage plan for that invasion, saying they're willing to use force to bring the island they consider a part of its territory under control.
And who back in Taiwan? The U.S. Once again, that ties into surely the least of the flock should draw them out. All these little small little miniature areas. Esau like to go play around there. Don't even belong to them. They just go in to fuck with them because they want to control shit in certain regions of the world or set up bases close to their enemies just so they can keep tabs. All this stuff is backfiring. Let me get this other precept. Let's go over there. The book of Obadiah in verse 2 said, behold, I made thee small among the heathen, thou art greatly despised. These other nations, they despise all the shit Esau doing. They got a long ass track record too. See, before, they ain't have the same weaponry and all that. They ain't have all the same tools. So he had the precepts to say, let the weak say I'm strong. Book of Joel, chapter 3. In verse 10, it says, better yet, let's go to verse 2. It says, I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, what you see going on right now. People being gathered near the Red Sea and all them different areas over there. And them troops just got pulled out of that one region just so they can go to this region. It says, I will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage. This is what our people, they be crying for. They be like, dang, we want reparations and retribution or whatever. The Most High ain't forgot about us. He's just doing stuff on his time, not on our time. God says, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. They have cast lots for my people. What's a lot? Slave lot. Who they cast them lots for? You know. It says, they have given a boy for a harlot, sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. It's only a certain select amount of people they did that for on a high level. Because it happened to various nations, of course. But who did it impact the most and still impact to this day the most? I'm going to jump down to verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty man, and the men of war draw near, let them come up. Look at them, they coming up. Niggas flying bombers, putting submarines out, ships out. You can't make this up, man. And it's spooky too. You look at it. You know, you gotta have a strong mind and grasp this and have faith that the Most High have mercy on you and deliver you. That's why when you go around, you gotta be merciful. You can't just be running around being a damn tyrant or being reckless as hell. Because if you want mercy, you gotta be merciful too. It says, beat your plowshares into swords, your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. And that's what they're doing now. These different nations. They were known as agriculture, trading, goods, rice and shit like that. Now they got these damn bombers now. So you saw stuff backfired on them. The Most High created them just to create this stuff just so they can get it and bring their own judgment. Go to the book of Obadiah. It says in verse 2, behold, I made thee small among the heathen. Thou greatly despised. The proud of thy heart have deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, whose habitation is high, and saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? Wait, you see it. You got other people tightening up, trying to bring them down to the ground. Now I'm going to let this play a little bit more in the south on one precept.
Latest military incursion. Now, tension is already high since earlier this year. China vowed to invade Taiwan and even presented a three-stage plan for that invasion, saying they are willing to use force to bring the island they consider a part of its territory under control. So how close is China to making good on their promise to use force, and where would that put the rest of the world, including the United States? We bring in John Jordan, former Naval Intelligence Officer, to help us with this conversation. John, thanks for joining me.
Hey, I ain't gonna let that play. He's not gonna give the answer. I'll give you the answer. This is gonna happen. This is about to happen real soon. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 11, verse 14. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, what is that woe? I'm just talking about. Let's go into the definition of the word woe. It says an expression of grief. I said grief, so like it says an expression of grief, a denunciation. You know, let's go into it even further, because there's more to it than that. Go into a little bit more. Now in the Greek, which you got it on here as well, it says "oh I." That's how you say "woe" in the Greek, but also basically translate to alas, or more like, oh no. Like when you see something pop up, oh no, oh shit, for lack of a better terms. Let's go into the definition, because it's just putting up biblical meaning and stuff too. It's gonna take it all around. That's what I was looking for. It says great sorrow or distress, misery, sorrow, distress, wretchedness, sadness, unhappiness, heartache, heartbreak, desolation, despair, dejection, depression, gloom. It says things that cause sorrow or distress or troubles. It says trouble, difficulty, problem, trial, tribulation, burden, misfortune, setback, reverse, blow. Once this pop out, once this blow happen, hey, that's it for Babylon, man. Simultaneously, the place gonna get wiped out and the elect gonna be delivered while all that's going on. So, man, send them prayers up. Try to keep those commandments to the best of your ability and actually apply them. Don't play around. Listen to the people that go, we ain't gotta keep law. It was done away with. Apply it and actually help. It's beneficial. It's not laid out just to make you miserable or boring or none of that stuff like that. Like people try to say in the world. It's beneficial. And it's gonna keep you from, what's the other words in this? Mishap. Vicissitude. I never even heard of that word, but that's a new one for me. It says failure, accident, disaster, tragedy, catastrophe, calamity, adversity, and affliction. Once all this stuff happened to this place over here, this third woe, because the first and the second one already happened. You don't want to be a part of that. So I don't want to write this out. It's edifying. Call about Yahweh, Shem, Shalom to the left.